right now. It's almost full as well, so. Usually on Fridays. All right, 4 spots left. Yeah, usually Fridays. Sorry, I couldn't see chat. Yeah, good luck in the tournament, dude. Doing well, Marzi Barzi. How are you doing? Nervous about your doctor's appointment? I'm sure everything will be fine. All right. We are ready to open this feast. We just need a couple more spots. Yeah, that's probably good. Probably a good thing to, keep tabs on. This break is fire. I love Pokemon Go Set. Pokemon Go Set had the interesting gimmick of the Dittos, but apart from that, the set's sick. It's got good cards. The Alt Mewtwo. It's not the easiest to pull. Definitely only seen a handful. They'll do the routine checkup for it, and then I'll get your prescription refilled, which, to be honest, probably won't take that long. Oh, then what are you nervous for? You're good. It'll be an easy one. Okay. Four spots left. Chaotic part of town? Listen, I lived in Chicago for 4 years, and like when I went to Loyola, whenever nonsense gets up in your face, you hit them with nonsense back. If someone comes up to you just on some nonsense, you just gotta just start twitching. Start making noises. It works every time. It sounds bad until you live there for 4 years. Then it's not bad. You learn to adapt to your environment. And then if someone comes up to me with a clipboard trying to talk to me about something, I just make pterodactyl noise. Just, I don't even know if I could do it anymore. No. I did try it. It hurt. Oh, I hate driving in the city. I'll still do it, but like I'd rather not. If anyone ever like, I remember Haley used to say, she's like, let's go to Chicago. I'm like, no, we're gonna overpay for everything, and it's gonna suck. Everything just takes longer and is more expensive. Yeah, and you guys almost got lost. You see the error? Let me look. I think I saw it. Bro, why are your cards that you get like all peeled? Isn't that like the second one that happened to you? Is this dude keeping the cards like underneath like a heat lamp? Yeah, but it's like the same kind of thing. After 2, I'd stop buying from there. I'd be like, all right, what the hell is going on? I mean, they both. The other one, these weren't even from the same place. I think they're related. Dude, they might be cousins. All right, we got 3 spots left. Probably cousins. You say like it's not totally different though. It has to do with like the surface being separated on the card. What's up, Only Night? That's weird, dude. I don't know. I don't want to say Fugazi cards, but I don't know, dude. I never had a surface melt off of the top of the card. That's very interesting. That would definitely be a first for me. It's not even an error, it's just damaged. You don't know if it would be fake if it were from Target? Target literally sells fake cards. Did no one tell you this before? You ever opened like the unofficial Pokemon prepackaged stuff? The cards are completely fake. I haven't looked lately. Maybe they stopped selling them, but they used to if they're not there anymore. Well, it's not official. It's like repackaged Pokemon product where it's supposed to be actual Pokemon but repackaged. But it's sold as official Pokemon. How would you know? I opened I like someone. I don't know if I bought them or someone I knew bought them, and I looked at them, and I was like, "These are the fakest cards I think I've ever seen in my life." I mean, I knew right away just by holding them. The coloring was off. The feel of the card was off. I don't know how they got away with selling those. Because, like, it is, like, the packaging said, like, official Pokemon, like, product. Like, there's official cards in it. But it was sold at Target. I do remember that. No, yeah. I wasn't saying your pack was a fake one, but like seeing something like that would make me think like, oh, they botched a fake card or something. I don't know. Because it's really weird for reverse hollows are in the middle of the pack. It's not even like the outer card that like maybe got scratched or dented or something. Like this is like in the middle. 3 spots left in the feast. I only have 6 Ultra Balls, and I am nowhere close to buying another 10. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. Oh, Mr. Fan, I haven't seen your name in years. What's up, dude? There are 3 spots left. You would be correct. Oh, you don't gotta explain yourself. I'm just happy to see you. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm doing all right. A little tired after this week, to be honest. How about you? Can't get a hold of Nick. 2 spots left. Your PayPal's been messed up? Yeah, I wouldn't know how to help you with that. I'm going to be honest with you. How'd it get messed up? You got locked because you were like at a different IP address or something? What's up, Stars? How goes it, my friend? can't get the code because you don't know your German number anymore. That's interesting. I'm surprised they wouldn't let you, like, recover it with, like, a phone number or something. If you call them, their customer service is pretty on point. And we're full. That is it. That is it. Good job filling it, everybody. Everybody who filled it, that is. And that's it. I'm just kidding. I love all of you. Boom. This is the only one because I have to switch it up for next week. I made exactly enough based on, you know, just what I felt like we were going to do this week. But don't worry, there will be more next week. With the allergies, I went on an uncontrollable, like, nice little sneezing binge today. Hits me out of nowhere. A polygraph test? For what? Do I have a 3D printed Raichu? I have a Funko Raichu, which kinda is 3D printed, but no. Give me a few. You just gonna? Is it just gonna, like, use the printer in my house? Is it just gonna print for me? I don't know if this printer from my first year of college that I got for free is capable of printing a Raichu in 3D. That might be the end of it. That might be what finally kills it. Alright, good luck, everybody. Hold up. Polygraph test, I'm almost positive that that like doesn't hold up in court. Like, legally. They're not reliable enough. One, they can be beat, and two, if someone is just overly nervous at the situation, you're just going to get, like, false negatives and false positives. If that was the case, then everybody could just be guilty as soon as they just have them take a polygraph test if they're under investigation. Like, what? You'll make one and send it to me? You don't gotta do that, dude. I appreciate it, though. Like those lie detector tests are just memes. They use that like on like Jerry Springer. Like those aren't real. Obviously, like it was from the settlements. But still, that's some like shoddy science. But like I understand like why they did it, stars, but like from the outside looking in, that seems weird. God packs, not yet, but I've pulled 2 demigod packs. That's a ditto, by the way. Nick said he got one? I don't think he did. I think he lied to you. It was on the DNA. I guess we all... Or the NDA. You finally found one? Well, that's good. It's pretty nuts that you found one at this point. But like still stars, like them putting a polygraph on an NDA when polygraphs don't hold up legally is interesting. Like a drug test I get, right? A blood test, maybe. A polygraph test? What? They're not reliable. Yeah, but even then, here's the thing. If those are actually, if polygraph tests are reliable, then why do we even have proceedings or anything? Just, if we think someone is guilty, hook them up to a polygraph, and if they fail it, they're guilty. Sure. I mean, that's what I thought. Like, that's why it's interesting to me that, like, even though they're not, like, in a courtroom per se, it's just, their legal team. It's interesting that they would even, like, waste the time doing that. Radiant Blastoise is very clean. Polygraphs don't work in a sense of lie or don't lie. No, right. I don't know your friend on set. Yeah, we still do points. It was a strategy to see, and they have video footage, so I guess it's a scare tactic. I feel like anyone who owns a phone. We were just talking about this Mewtwo. Anyone who owns like a phone and has an internet connection can figure out a scare tactic pretty easily. Like if this person is suing, they probably have lawyers of their own, and they're probably aware of everything anyway. That just seems like a good way to like upcharge whoever they're whoever they're working for. They're just like, yeah, just throw the polygraph on there. We're charging $3,000. These idiots don't know what they're doing. No, I'm not saying anything against like you or whoever stars. I'm just saying in general that just seems like a good way for lawyers to make more money with no like actual outcome for the work. Because they got to hire like a specialist for that. Who had psychic, by the way? Audrey. That's a very nice Mewtwo. Just like Paramount, they're super stingy. Bro, Netflix got expensive. And forget, you can't like use it across multiple households anymore. I got like some angry like texts and calls from family members like, what the hell? I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm still logged in. I just remember when all the internet companies were throttling Netflix users, specifically when you were using the app. So you would stop using it because it would always be buffering. Back when Netflix was the only streaming service. Hold on one second, guys. I never used it when it was. I only used it when it was a streaming service. Oh, hey, Chris. Hello. Thank you for the sub. Not much, dude. I just finished the Rank 14 grind in Anniversary. Pretty happy about that. I don't know, dude. I don't know why I did it. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm playing Mage, and it was the first time I played Palm Pyro Mage, so I could just like delete people, and I've been having a good time. I remember when Netflix had DVDs, but yeah, I never really used it. Palm Pyro is very fun. Now, Chris, if I were to do it all over again, like if I had the option to go back, Beach, would you hit rank 14 again? Hell no. That sucked. It sucked so bad. It took such a long time. You remember when Blockbuster didn't buy Netflix because it was a stupid idea? Isn't Netflix doing like pretty bad as opposed to like how good they used to do? Because no matter what, it takes 2 weeks to get from 13 to 14. Well, not only that, they just raise the price on everything and then they put ads if you didn't pay enough. Low key, this week I have a lot of different streaming platforms logged into my house, courtesy of anyone who has done it for me. I feel like across multiple platforms, all the movies were like the same. I was like trying to find something to watch this week, and everything was the same. I think I have like 2. Three, because Haley likes the Hallmark Channel. But that sub is like a joke. That sub is like $2, I think. I refuse to do the YouTube Premium, even though it would be very nice to have that for the gym. But I refuse. I was just like, nope. Yeah, I don't have it either. But with YouTube TV, what's the catch? You have to like pay if you add channels? Or does it have just certain networks bundled in no matter what? Yeah? Okay. So it's like how Prime is set up. Cheaper than right. People. One thing I learned recently was, you know how AT&T partnered with DirecTV? That like partnership fell out, but AT&T is still selling them as a bundle. But when they go to hook up the TV, they can't. So, like, people just end up getting stuck with it, but they can't even use it. But, like, AT&T hasn't updated their bundles, so it just stays the same. This is the last one for tonight. This is all I had ready for tonight. This week was a little quiet, a little sleepy. But that's alright, because we've been going hard for like 2 months, 3 months. Dude, I did 35 AVs today to close it out finally. I pulled the Umbreon, the first and the only one that I've pulled probably like 3 weeks ago. I don't have a God pack yet, but I have 2 demigod packs. Yeah, my bad, dude. I will. Next week I'll have more. That's a very nice alt. Yeah, that's a beaut. It didn't come out yet. But I will, once it does. What's up, Dominic? Well, yeah, at a 10, it's like, what, close to $5,000? So what does that come out to for, like, the PSA insurance? Thank you for that sub. Isn't that only, like, an extra, like 200? $150 for peace of mind, though, that it's covered if it gets lost in the mail. I'm okay with that. Insurance on PSA grading, if it's worth a certain amount of money. Still, Chris, if $3,000 gets lost in the mail, I'd be pretty upset. No, right. But you're paying for the peace of mind. People get all upset and, they're like, oh, why do I got to pay more? You got to pay more because they don't want to pay to replace it. That's insurance. Right, exactly. That's what we were just talking about. Ooh. Okay, Zard. I don't know why they still do that. They should just do that on their own. Because if someone sends that in wrong, for now, yeah, stars. People are overly impatient and it turns into a nightmare to deal with. And then sometimes, like, we still have a bunch of cards that have come back and the people don't read their email. It's not worth the headache, stars. There are people that will like literally ask in Discord every single day. And it's like, you asked me yesterday. Hey, Automod stopped it. I think people need to like go through the headaches of sending it in on their own before being allowed to submit with somebody else. Because I think people have a distorted reality of like the actual like process. Oh, I know you understand, Chris. I'm just saying the reason why we're probably going to put a hold on that moving forward. The PSA 10 Rayquaza? Oh, yeah. Out of, was it a shiny Rayquaza or was it an alt? Well, Chris, sometimes they take longer out of nowhere, and people don't realize that, like, when they give a projection, it's in business days, so it doesn't count weekends. And then I just get, like, we just get badgered every day. And I'm just like, sometimes it still does, Chris. It's just the way it is. But like, whenever you see someone message on Discord, hey, any updates? Hey, any updates? Hey, any updates? Every other day. Those are that is the reason why we're not doing it for a while, probably. Yeah, I'm not going to recommend people anything other than the two grading companies because it's the smart thing to do. I've had this conversation also like thousands of times. If we're going about grading our cards because of a slab looking cool, go back and restart the process because we're already in the wrong frame of mind. They jump on new companies because of the price, usually. Right. A company will show exactly why they gave you a grade, but they're in the eyes of the public. I'm not spending money. I'm not spending more money on that slab than a slab from PSA or BGS. I could start a company tomorrow and I could write a paragraph about every card and why I rated it a certain way. But guess what? Even though it's nice that I did that, I have no authentication authority whatsoever. That's the issue that people forget about. Whether or not they do something and it's nice and all that, you know, they mean well. they're a mom and pop company. They're still, they have zero authority when it comes to authenticating cards. Yeah, same. I have a lot of BGS grades because that I had a buddy who would submit to BGS and I would just put my Pokemon cards in. And that's not me putting you down, Stars, at all. I hope you don't take it as that. It's just I when people start recommending companies that aren't PSA or BGS, alarms go off in my head. And I like it's I can't recommend it, you know. You're sending in the dollar if you pulled me? That's good. Let me know what it gets. The problem is, if in a year from now, whatever company that you sent it to that just came out is no longer there anymore, you officially wasted your own time and your own money. And you're potentially going to damage the card breaking it out of that slab. I had a buddy ask me, like, we had this discussion with my buddy Eric, and he's like, yeah, they look really cool, man. I was like, I'm going to stop you right there. I was like, what's the goal of what you're trying to do? Like, get the card graded. I'm like, okay, when you get a card graded, they don't only assign a number value based on the condition of the card, they also authenticate it to make sure it's real. If you want something to look really nice, just buy a top loader and decorate it. You could just color it. You could do whatever you want. Pull out some word art from Microsoft. You just do whatever your heart desires. You'll save a lot more money that way. Just go crazy. You just pick up a pack of some nice, cool looking markers. You could even use the markers that you sniff them and they have like flavors. I don't know if they still make those, do they? That way, when you smell the card, you know it's not only like a visual experience; you can smell it too. Do they still make those markers? Or do they like, figure out that like, huffing marker fumes is probably not the healthiest thing for kids? No, I still open my own packs. But that's just for me. You know what I mean? I don't do it on camera. If I open packs for me, it's just for me. Not a weird question at all. Because of the scarcity, it's definitely been less than I have before, but I still open for myself for sure. Oh, I will. I'll get whatever I can get my hands on, because that's how it works. I don't really have a say in like how much they produce. I'm gonna guess that it's not gonna be that much, because for them to adjust upwards, it's gonna take them over a year. You opened a demigod pack from Prismatic. I've gotten 2 demigod packs, but not a god pack yet, and we're due for it. My earbud fell out. I'm gonna have to buy new ones soon. I like wore out the like the part that goes into your ear. I feel like it's not what it used to be. What did he cook, dude? That you said it looked so good. He had some lobster. I'll just have to check. Did it skip the song I actually wanted? It did. There it is. Dude, this guy's trying to be on Master Chef or something. You see this guy? The way he typed that all out? You know what I would have said? I made some chicken and I made some salmon. My guy's trying to be on Master Chef, and I'm all for it. Even when he makes it, he's like, yes, brilliant. You're still playing Kata? We had like 4 people get banned for AFKing AV on Classic. There was a huge ban wave. People were also getting banned because sometimes people will go back and wipe the Horde, like defend. Those people got banned too because it was griefing, quote unquote. But they were probably all just automatic bans. Imagine, dude. Imagine getting banned for playing the game. Gotta walk the dog? Alright. Because the meta right now is to never fight. Don't fight. You gotta kill all the lieutenants and then just let them win. Which I hate, to be fair. But I'm done, so I don't gotta worry about it no more. I'm out of that hellhole. My suffering is over. You don't got a starter yet, Mr. Fanning? I caught a chat warning, Chris, for legit just saying to someone, hey, don't AFK. We could actually win this. So I caught a chat warning, so I just report everybody now. Anyone asks me for water as a mage, boom, reported. Get them out of my game. I know, how could I say that? But people know the system that there's no like employees like looking at like who's getting banned and why. It's just automatic based on how many reports you get. Got to get banned for Krakatoa after one-shotting someone. I haven't caught a chat restriction for that yet. Chris, for the one-shot macro, whenever I hit what's it called? Whenever I use Palm, I have it yell slash Krakatoa before the Pyroblast comes out. Best thing ever. Working on it. I went to my first ZG yesterday. There's also a weak aura that whenever you hit a crit on the mage, it gives you an Owen Wilson. Wow. I gotta find it. I'm just sketchy about those weak auras because of... I remember in 2019 Classic, I don't know if you remember, someone had a weak aura that whenever you went to a mailbox, it mailed that person all of your gold. You had that on something? I gotta find it again. And when Mage went with Hot Streak spec, you get... Exactly, dude. It's 10 out of 10. Just wow. The Palm Pyro spec got me through the grind because it never got old. Finding a straggler in the middle of AV, you just sheep them and you hit them with the full combo. It's a very nice card. Exactly. Insert Owen Wilson. Wow. Dude, in 2019 Classic, I'm on Alliance now. Alliance used to win everything. That's what I remember. They dominated every BG for like the entirety of Classic. And now in this version, Alliance just loses every time. I don't know what happened. All of the PvE chads, dude. Running my AV. Made me sick. It's gonna feel really weird not having to cap Honor next week. I'm gonna feel like I just have so much like freedom. I'm surprised Cata Classic is still going on. We were struggling to fill raids, and the second raid hadn't even come out yet. Arc Raiders? What's that? Season of Discovery was fun. Dude, the problem is they have too many iterations of Classic right now. When they release an iteration of Classic, get rid of all the other ones. Third-person extraction shooter. So like a Tarkov spinoff or something derivative of Tarkov. GTA 6 will be here in a year. GTA 6 is the reason why we're going to have like $100 games now. The same company who made Finals. Dude, I still remember playing the first Battle Royale before all of them. I gotta go back to Steam to look at the name of it. If you look back at the 90s and adjust for inflation, the games back then were like 150. Yeah, but the games were good. That's the difference. And no DLC, exactly. You can't adjust for inflation and charge the same amount, and the games are like just horrible. How much was an N64? This is a good ChatGPT question right here. $50 to $80. Why do I remember like 40 to 45? Damn, dude, 50 back then was a lot of money. But like still good enough to pay that amount. That's interesting. And what, 50 based on inflation would be like $120 or something like that? How much was an N64? I mean, that feels like so cheap. 150 for an N64? That's disgusting. In my head, it was 400. Legit. $450 is still low. Is that because the components were not that expensive because there wasn't that much inside of them? A lot of the games were inside of the cartridge, I guess. I still remember the expansion pack for Donkey Kong 64, and all that was RAM. Yeah. Prismatic is all on its own. You remember Xbox was sold at original Xbox? I remember getting the Rings of Death for the 360. I had to call Microsoft to get a box sent to me You then had to mail the Xbox in that box back to Microsoft, and a lot of times they just sent back the same one. They didn't fix anything. Now, Chris, I feel like they're just moving away from consoles in general, which I think is a smart play because they're not the future. They've already been easing people in with crossplay, Game Pass. I haven't had a console since like high school. I have a Switch, but like, I feel like that's just the Switch will be the last console like standing. Nintendo is the only one that can get away with it. How much is a PS5 Pro? Like $800? Welcome back, Dom. We were just talking about how much N64 games were back in the day. I'm not even gonna ask ChatGPT. I think it's around $800. You want some parts? You filled in the rest. I mean, even before streaming, I played games on PC. Like, it's been that way for a while now. It's not even about like going back to consoles. All my friends play on PC. I play on PC, so it's like there's really no incentive for me to go back. Like why would I do that? Well, ChatGPT answered us, I guess, between $50 and $60 back in the day, N64 games were. Are they finally doing that? Why wouldn't that be available on the Switch 1 though? Have me pay a fee. I could play any Nintendo game from any console. Because they're greedy. And because they can. They're going to sell the Joy-Cons. I don't know why they call them Joy-Cons, dude, because there's no joy in using one of those on its own. It, like, destroys your hand. You ever try to use one of those controllers on its own? Like, you split them up and, like, you have your friends. It just destroys your hands. Cramp... There you go. Hand cramps. Joy cramps. I would rather use an N64 controller than the Joy-Con. That's for sure. I use the GameCube controller that they have for the Switch. I refuse to use anything else. It's the best kind of controller there ever was. I think overall, across every console and everything, I think the GameCube controller is my favorite. I had one of those and it broke on me. You like couldn't recharge it. You used batteries. Or I'm thinking of the Steam controller. I like the 360 controller. I'll use that for a lot of PC games. If it calls for it. You're 6'7", so like every controller is small. True. You could probably use an N64 controller pretty efficiently then. Yo, real talk. Okay. Brief poll in the chat. Did you use the N64 controller? Did you use the thumb on the joystick, or did you hold the joystick like this? Because I did it like this. Damn, dude, you did thumb? I did, absolutely. Bro, that's how you did like the smashes, like in Smash Bros. If you had so much control if you did it like this. So much more power. You play like this, I feel like you can't do nothing. No God Pack, but we got some good hits. The God Pack is going to come out regardless of what it wants to do. All right, guys. Very clean break. Thank you guys for filling it. It's the only break we have for this evening, but I'll have more posted for next week. I just go off of, how busy the previous stream was. And it was a little bit sleepy this week. Oh, Bowler, right on time. Right on time after I finished last break. Hey, dude. Thanks for showing up, pal. You been here? Why didn't you say nothing? I like talking to you. And Chris, you're always welcome in here, reminiscing. You're in a dungeon. I don't care. Just pause the game, bro. Just pause it, dude. That's how it works, right? Can't you just pause it? The amount of times I've had people say that to me throughout my life. I'm never doing BGs again unless it's for fun. I got capped. I'm done. This is my last week. I'll do AB and Warsong Gulch. Dude, my house phone at my parents' house. Whenever I was in a game of League, someone would call the house and the internet would drop. I disconnected our phone. I said, we have cell phones. We live in a modern society. We don't need a house phone anymore. AT&T came out and they couldn't fix it. They were like, we don't know what's going on. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want this internet anymore. And probably this weekend. Yeah. That's what it called for. We'll do more if people want more next week. The reason why my parents got rid of theirs is recently, very, very recent. was because they just started charging astronomically more. It used to be that if you got hooked into the house phone, they would charge you less. Now they're overcharging people. Tonight, maybe. For sure this weekend. Chris, we got to come back in here because I love these talks. Always. And everyone else, I hope you have a good weekend. Yeah, I will. I will, Bowler. Everybody else, have a good weekend. I'm going to try and be live on the gaming channel Sunday. And other than that, guys, love you. You're all beautiful.